Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, the second Cataclysm, was released for the Sega CD in June 1994. It is unfortunately not a port of the excellent Capcom arcade beat-em-up, and is instead a full-motion video rail shooter published by Sega and developed by Rocket Science Games. It's notable for having a young Elon Musk on board as a programmer. Judging from this game, he made a prudent decision to move on to other ventures. Based on the comic book series Xenozoic Tales, which would later be known as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, this setting screamed early 90s kids cartoon, and indeed it spawned one in 1993. Cars and dinosaurs, little boys love both, what could go wrong? In this case, everything. There are few, if any, FMV games as bad as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Its story and setting, which blends 1950s action sci-fi with environmentalism, is actually interesting material to license. The setting is the post-apocalypse. Humanity has returned to the surface after being forced underground for 500 years due to a cataclysm brought on by pollution and natural disasters, and now must learn to live in balance with the environment. Two post-war adventure archetypes, Brick Stiffshake and Test Boob Pistol, have a vision of a second cataclysm, and you have 1 hour to stop it. In-game story is entertaining enough, but feels like it requires some knowledge of the source material to completely grasp. And that's where everything even remotely entertaining about the game ends. Gameplay has you trying to avoid or shoot a ridiculous amount of road debris and enemies, while trying to dodge bigger, insta-kill obstacles, and also navigating the maze-like levels with no map or any hint of where the right path is. In a game with a time limit, and a need to clear levels as fast as possible, it's discouraging to the player to give them not the slightest hint as to where to go. But let's talk more about the levels. There are 9, but in truth there are only 2. Levels 1 to 6 are this exact jungle, and 7 to 9 are this exact tunnel. They try to differentiate with different obstacles and enemies, if you can see them at all. To fit in with the super low bitrate video backgrounds, the sprites which identify these objects are designed with the same drowned out color tone as the video. If you think about how they had to have gone about this, it's actually impressive how bad they got these sprites to look. They blend in so well with the terrible video that they are nearly unidentifiable. It all stands in contrast to the bright red, well-defined Cadillac and its occupants. This game is pretty good looking in screenshots, but a pukey, low frame rate mess in motion. Control of your car works occasionally. You will find it moving left or right uncontrollably on a regular basis, and you can only hope it doesn't lead you into an insta-kill obstacle. Collision detection seems random. How do I not hit the boulder here, and then hit it here? The same applies to hit detection with your weapons. This makes for an incredibly difficult game. There is a hard and easy mode, but I noticed no difference between the two. One last area in which Cadillacs and Dinosaurs redefines the opposite of excellence is in its music and cutscenes. One of the biggest advantages of the Sega CD is being able to bypass the Genesis sound chip in favor of music streamed from the disc. They did not use that option here, and that resulted in this audible piss.
Hannah, try to blast those obstacles out of our path.
This is the only review that I've done so far where I have refused to use the game's music as background tracks. You are hearing the music from the Capcom arcade game instead. Why couldn't they use streaming disc audio? I'm guessing because they handled their FMV scenes so poorly. There is actually no animation in these scenes. You only see animation in the brief death clips. Instead, they are comic book art with zooming and panning. Rather than use Sega CD's built-in sprite scaling to accomplish this, they pre-rendered the scenes as video files and compressed them and put them on the disc so that the art looks terrible and unnecessary space is used. Like the entire game, it was a bad, not very well thought out idea. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is a bad game. It might be the worst FMV game ever. It's certainly the worst I've played. Games like Night Trap are far more entertaining with much simpler gameplay concepts. What makes this so terrible is that it's a bad idea executed poorly. A rail shooter over FMV backgrounds is not fun, but making it hard to traverse and defend yourself through bad controls makes it even worse. Bad music, bad graphics, bad controls, bad gameplay. The only good thing here is the one thing the game's developers had no hand in: the original IP. Don't be fooled into playing this game. I can't accurately describe the relief I felt when I finally put the controller down for the last time.